In the murder trial of Kate Steinle is America First Action spokesman and senior advisor, former Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And you must be just so disappointed with what happened here in San Francisco. I know I'm disappointed and disgusted, having been a prosecutor and been First Lady of that city, to see this kind of outrageous miscarriage of justice. Will anything happen to change with this verdict that happened in the debate in this country on sanctuary cities?
Not likely, not as long as Congress continues to kick the can down the road on illegal immigration and immigration reform in this country. Look, both sides have been using this thing as a political football, looking for political leverage. There's basically no will on the United States Congress to fix our broken immigration system. The only elected official in Washington, D.C., who understands that this is a crisis and has a sense of urgency about it is President Donald Trump, who campaigned on it. Look, this whole thing is ass backwards. You know, I'd sit there, I listen to the mothers. Kate Steinle's family still can find no peace. And now I hear that ISIS are going to deport this guy. It's too late. Here's what my problem is with them deporting the guy now. I like Jeff Sessions' idea, charge him federally, maybe rack up 10, 15, 20 years where he can sit in a prison, because if they deport him right now, he will be right back in the country because our border is not sealed. For heaven's sakes, seal the damn border.
Yeah, seal the border, build the wall, follow the law. These are the problems that we're having, and California is really just a pitiful example of how bad this problem has gotten. And we were speaking earlier in the program about elections coming up. We heard from Jeff Sessions earlier on Tucker's program. Sean saying sanctuary cities to blame for the death of Kate Steinle. But now we have a president with the will and wherewithal, and I'm sure you've had conversations with him, Sheriff, about this issue.
Precisely, and push is going to have to come to shove for the United States Department of Justice. Look, there are federal laws that are being violated by sanctuary cities, catch and release policies, and the Justice Department is going to have to develop the teeth, put some teeth into their rhetoric, and charge these officials, charge these mayors, charge these law enforcement officials that are going to defy federal law. Sanctuary cities are illegal, we know it, and all we see is the back and forth, the threatening of pulling funding, and then you get some activist judge who gets in the way, and he delays that and says that they cannot do it because Congress has already approved the funding. But they didn't do that when President Obama threatened to pull funding from schools from not having allowing men to use women's bathrooms. So at some point, the Justice Department, Jeff Sessions, is going to have to charge one of these individuals. Forget about the funding stuff, all right? Charge one of them criminally. One of these statutes can end up in a person upon conviction serving 10 years in a federal prison. Some public official is going to have to be charged and prosecuted to get the attention of everybody else. But until then, the Congress, as I said, they don't have the will. Kimberly, they do not have the will to fix this broken immigration system because both sides are using it for political leverage.
No, you're absolutely right. And Greg Jarrett was on earlier. He, concurs, feels the same way as an attorney that, the law is there. Somebody's going to need to be prosecuted and be held accountable to actually stop the flow of blood coming from these criminal recidivists who keep coming in, are deported, come back in again, commit more crimes, and no one seems to matter. It's almost like you got to give these people an apology. Oh, I'm sorry, we have to prosecute you, or we can't let you come back in and forth to commit more crimes against innocent, law-abiding people. I mean, when you look at this picture of what happened here and you see this guy, honestly, I cannot believe that San Francisco did this. As bad as some of the things they've done in the past, how did this guy, a felon in possession of a gun, not be convicted of anything? I mean, it's unbelievable.
Well, the thing that's most disgusting to me is that this illegal alien had more rights than Kate Steinle and Kate Steinle's family.
He's going to get credit time served or something.
That's the thing that chaps my rear end. It really does. That an illegal alien has more rights than a United States citizen. But again, look, Congress, all they do is pay lip service. Now there's this funding for the wall that's tied up in, they hide it in other bills.
Right.
And then Chuck Schumer comes along and threatens to shut down the government if that's included in a bill. And then the GOP backs off. Look, it is high time in this country. The American people have spoken. They spoke last November and they continue to speak. They want this illegal immigration crisis fixed. They want it solved. We are a sovereign nation, and if you're going to be a sovereign nation, you have to have borders, and you have to protect those borders. That's what we expect our federal officials to do.
Isn't that the bare minimum we can do in terms of a basic decency, a basic expectation of public safety, that we can protect people, an innocent girl and her father walking down the street, to not be slaughtered?
Well, you know, you've seen some of the victims there. Some law enforcement officers have been killed by people illegally in the country. Other citizens, you know, have been victimized as well. And when the United States federal government cannot protect its citizens from an illegal invasion, and that's what it is. They're allowing people to come into the country illegally and set up residency. And then when they kick them out, they come back over. They kick them out. They continue to come back over. This is a cat and mouse game by these illegal aliens. They know it. They know that there's little that will happen to them, especially if they hide out in a sanctuary city where they're provided a safe haven.
Unbelievable. It's really outrageous, and it seems to be getting worse, but I have faith that the president is going to do something about it, and we're waiting.